Get it up?
Yeah.
Were you able to share the screen and everything through Zoom? We just make sure that it's sharing. Well, make sure it's sharing real quick through Zoom. It's early too, you know, none of these agents come on right at, come on earlier.
It's so gross outside.
I know. Not looking forward to driving home from it. Hey guys, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Thank you. Can you see the screen saying growing your business through clients events?
Yes.
Thank you, Rachel. You're gonna be all set. We'll make sure the thing works for you. We've been having troubles with this clicker lately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully. You might have to click.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. It looks like it's, the battery's on, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Let's see, maybe someone had it running.
And then if I'm, is this like the camera that's going to Zoom?
This is the camera that's going through Zoom. So if there are people in the room, you can stand here and talk.
Okay.
If there's no one in the room and you want people on Zoom to see you
Hmm.
from the front of your face, you
Uh-huh.
can stand this way and talk.
Okay.
And the camera will follow you.
Oh, but it's right there?
No, that's the camera right there. That's the, I'm sorry, that's the camera right there.
Oh,
The owl up there.
okay.
Let me show you what it looks like. I'm here. So you'll see, so that's what it looks like.
Okay.
If I go over here and I'm like,
Hey.
hey guys,
I
hey.
don't know if I've met you officially.
Testing.
Yes,
You can see that it's looking at me here.
Very nice.
Hey, hey.
Okay.
Once your voice here, you'll follow it. And if I stand over here, hey, hey guys, hey, hey. It'll move over here.
I want to introduce
Hey.
myself. I'm Candace Story.
Nice to meet you,
I
Candace.
work with Bill as one of the productivity coaches.
Cool.
And I want to take this class so bad.
Awesome.
Because I'm teaching a 36 touch workshop on Friday, but I've got
Nice.
one-on-one coaching calls this afternoon. So you're
Cool.
recording this, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
awesome.
think so.
I'll be watching it later.
Yeah, let me make sure we're recording.
Anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Candace.
Thank you.
It looks like it is recording.
Okay.
see. Make sure again. See if that works for this. Yeah, clickers. No.
Okay.
Try clicking. Yep, so you can just go like that.
The arrows, okay.
Yeah. The red button should be recording on this computer. Yep.
So when I start, are they seeing the camera and this?
When you start, they're seeing just this. So to stop that, you push stop sharing. So now they're seeing us.
Got it.
Somebody.
And when you want to share the screen, you push share screen
Okay.
and run your business through
You said it's got
clients.
a contingency.
Share.
Oh,
Do you want to start out
yeah.
with just
Try to
showing
get
it
it
now?
accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Receiver.
I'll stay in for your intro and then
Oh,
I'll
that's, I know, right now, that's cool.
I got you.
And what,
Yeah.
I know, what are they looking for? Well, they're now calling for highest and best, and I feel like I've done everything. Made the offer.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
and we got our offer, we've done
right.
all those things, so Pam just reminded me, I'm gonna check, I had someone who did a bridge loan, I was gonna ask them about how much they have to pay.
And when you're teaching, you're welcome to pull out any of these shares, so then know whatever. you
Okay.
want to do.
Just trying to think.
I'll be right back.
Think of,
I know.
it's, she made it, I talked to Tim, and she asked, why she couldn't, I couldn't get rid of it, she couldn't make it with other options.
I gotcha, yeah.
So, I don't know. Oh.
Did you keep your office at the, cause I wasn't sure if you were moving it or,
Mhm.
okay,
So people are always offering me trades
I know, yeah,
for not as nice of offices.
perfect. So I'm still on the wall, on the other side of the wall from you.
Mhm. Yeah, Paul actually left, but when Paul was here, he was like, you wanna move into this smaller office, like right next to Dustin's team? They're kind of loud, but I'm like, no, I'm good.
You don't wanna be near bad people.
Yeah.
We want that.
It's okay. I appreciate the offer though. And then he's like, I might move to another office, but it doesn't have a window. I'm like, window.
So say we like our window, yeah. That's too funny.
2 more minutes.
Other people are, oh,
Couple. It said 1:30 to 3. I don't have enough content to get to 3, so
You're good.
maybe 2:15, maybe.
and I apologize in advance if I have to run out at all.
You're good. It's so nasty out there.
I seriously, I might be moving. I feel like if this is what we have to look forward to every summer, I
Yeah.
am so over this rain, I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, I've got family members out west who could use this, like, I don't wanna deal with this weather anymore, it stinks.
It's like Seattle.
I know.
Yeah, it is, I know my mom's like, it's like Florida, I said, no, it's not. Florida, it's like a one time a day, this is like sun, rain, 4 or 5 times in one day,
Yeah.
you can't plan anything, can't do anything,
Mhm.
it stinks.
Wait, at 1:30?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we're about to get started right now. Please let us know if you can't hear us on the mic or if you can't see the screen that Adam is sharing. He's got a great presentation coming up for you all.
I can hear you.
Just-
Okay, cool. So they can hear.
They can hear you.
Okay. Camera. This is like too much technology for me.
You're good. They can hear you, they can see you, I promise.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. Robin had asked me to speak a little bit about something I've been doing or added to my business plan for this year that has been producing some pretty good results. So I just wanted to run through that with you. I talked about it briefly a couple weeks ago at team meeting, but we've been doing some past client and future client events this year. So I put together a couple slides to y'all see that on Zoom?
Growing your business through client events. Can you see the orange slides?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, cool. So I broke it down into like seven steps, like a little outline as to kind of how my coach and I had laid out how to start it. So the first thing was creating the guest list, which probably took longer than anything else with planning the event. I really just went back to in my CRM and pulled, names, numbers, email addresses, and then uploaded it into paperless post, which is very similar to Evite. So to send out the digital flyers, the digital invites for it. And then for the first event this year, we did it at, it's called Bury the Hatchet. It's an axe throwing place in Sandy Springs. So I talked to them and got, pricing and everything like that. I sent out the invites, and then I spoke with my closing attorney, which I sent her a good amount of business about whether she'd be able to contribute and kind of split the costs with me. And so she said that if I was able to handle the venue, that she would do pay for all the catering and all the beer and wine and drinks. So that really was super helpful.
About how much was that? Do you know?
So it was, I have it on the next slide. I don't know how much she paid. It was catering for 25 people, beer and wine for 25 people, probably $500, something like that. And so my investment on it was $880. It was $40 a person, and we had 22 guests. So $880. And then after you kind of get for the second event, I had my mortgage lender through Bank South. He split the cost with me on the second one. So yeah, after you do that, following up with everybody, you get the invite sent out, and then follow up. It gives you a reason to reach out to them, which is kind of one of the things that I was struggling with my skier is like, you can only check in and see how their house is so many times. You can only, you can only ask for a referral so many times, or just like see how they're doing without it being kind of, I don't know. I was just running out of reasons to follow up. And so I thought everyone likes to be invited to a party, even if they can't make it. It's just, they were super appreciative, even the people that couldn't come, just to be invited, especially, we did this in January, so everything was starting to open back up, and after COVID and being isolated, it was, people wanted to get out of the house and be around other people and go do something fun, so.
How did you divide your guest list, just out of curiosity? Were they only your actual buyers and sellers? Were they some perspective?
Mhm.
Okay.
So for the first event, just because that one was like a per person, it was $40 a person, so it wasn't cheap. So I didn't just want to open it up to prospects and to like friends and family of them. So it was only people that have transacted with me, either bought or sold a home. Since I've been in the business. So I sent out it was about 96 invites, and we had 22 or 94 invites, and 22 people showed up. And this is what the flyer looked like. It cost, with paperless post, it costs, it's like 10 or 15 cents. It's not that bad. Evite's free, but I didn't like the, I didn't like the way the invitation looked. And the good thing through paperless post is you can send out, I'm sure you can do it through Evite too, but you can send out like follow-up reminders. It tracks the number of attendees. And I like the interface a little bit better, and it was worth it to me to pay $10.
Yeah.
So, so that's what the flyer looked like. I couldn't get this to move, but it says, let's put an axe in 2020. Please join us for cocktails, apps, and axe throwing. And the results were, so out of the 94 I sent, we found out that the response rate is about 25%, like about a quarter of the people you invite are gonna show up. That's been the metrics from like the past two events. So 22 people out of 94 invites, 22 people showed up. And not all of the referrals came from people that came to the event, which was cool, because people were just happy to be invited, and they know you need referrals. People know that you do, I feel like. And so I never brought up real estate at all during any of the events. Like when I was talking to the guests that came and leading up to it, it was truly just like a appreciation event. Like I appreciate them supporting my business in the past, and then, you know, continuing to support me through referrals and repeat business. So it was, yeah, out of that, I got 2 buyer referrals. One of them's already closed. She bought a house in Grant Park for $500K. And then 2 past clients that had purchased with me previously, both of them towards the end of the summer, want to sell and then buy. And so just guesstimating the commit, out of what's closed and the projected, it's about $3 million of business in 6 sides from an $880 investment. We'll do that all day. So, and it was just, kind of something outside of the box. A lot of other lead generation things, I mean, just don't really vibe with my business plan. I'm not going to call a bunch of expireds or for sale by owners or do that whole thing. About 80% of my business is my sphere and referral. And so if, you can spend money on Zillow or all these different lead sources, or you can invest it in the people who already know, like, and trust you. And for me, I mean, it's just a better ROI. So.
And didn't you say you gave something to them for coming to get something, or?
That was on the second.
Okay.
That's on the
Okay,
second.
so that. Did you feel that because this was more of like an activity, like
Mhm.
something we were doing different access,
Mhm.
that it was okay with just blending all these people who really didn't know each other?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Everybody, not quite. Most people know at least one other, because a lot of my business, like I said, is sphere.
Mhm.
So, it's one of those things that's a little bit difficult to kind of coordinate people that don't know anybody else. For the single people, I give them a +1. I did give them a +1 if they wanted to bring a friend, because I don't want them to be sitting there by themselves, and I can't talk to everyone all at the same time, right? But I tried to introduce people that had kind of common interests, like, hey, you should talk to them or this and that. But that was a concern, but there was food, there was axe throwing, there was things to do. So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest challenges is figuring that out. And the next event that we did that I'll show you, we kind of opened it up to bringing, since it wasn't a per person thing, I opened it up to bringing friends or, kind of whoever. So that one was a little bit easier to navigate. So this is a couple of the pictures from the event. And then this is the this is the invite for the second one we did. This was just a couple weeks ago. And we did it at Gate City Brewing. They just opened up a new event space that's right on Campus Street. They took over, they used to be an art gallery that closed down, and they bought that space and like built it out, and it's super cool. And we were the first people to have an event because it's like not even open yet.
That is so cool.
So I was going to, yeah, for this one, the invitation says barbecue smoked by yours truly, which I have a big green egg. I do love to barbecue. However, it became super overwhelming because I've found with these, like, people are rude. Like, they don't RSVP, and you have to like, chase them down and be like, I don't know, like, we're gonna try to make it. And then people that say they're coming don't come, and it's just
Yes.
kind of one of those things. And I was just got overwhelmed the logistics of smoking barbecue, bringing it to the event, serving it being hot. So I ended up getting Publix to cater this one, and it was super cheap. We did like Publix subs, popcorn chicken. They did like a fruit dessert platter thing. It was all kind of like finger foods. And they delivered it and set everything up, and it was like $5 a person or $6 a person. It was very inexpensive. And so this one was a little bit more expensive. The event space was $1,500. It was $1,500 for the space to rent it out, but it came with a $500 beer credit. So we paid essentially $1,000 for the space to rent it out, and then it covered all the bar tab for everybody. And we got like just to like 480. It was awesome. I was like, everybody get like one more, just like one more, yeah. So this one, I invited more people just because, from the first event, the people that had closed since then, and then opened it up to people to bring the plus ones if they were single, or you could bring, if you have a friend that's wants to sell a house, buy a house. I didn't say that, but when people knew that it was open to bringing additional people if they wanted to. So this one was about the same, 106 people, 24 attendees, so like right at that 25% mark. From that one, I got 4 buyer referrals. Three of those are already under contract, are currently under contract. And then 3 seller referrals. One of those is under contract and one's coming up next week. So it was a little bit of a bigger investment. It was a nicer event space. It would be like being right on Canton Street in a brewery. We didn't have the activity like because the other one you had the axe throwing, but it was just kind of a nice happy hour type of feel. And yeah, so out of $1,300, my lender kicked in $600. So that covered all the catering and the event space and all that kind of stuff. Or that was what I paid was the $1,300. So 7 sides for like right at 3.2 million that I can directly source from these events. So these are some of the photos from that one. And yeah, it was super fun. So that's really all I kind of wanted to open it up to Q&A or, these two have been really successful. I always feel like there's room for improvement even when things go well. So if, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys and have an open discussion on just some different ideas as to if anything that you guys have done before or.
So are you just solely utilizing the farming sphere type events as your lead generation, or because I know you say you're not doing cold calling or any paid clicks or ads or stuff like that. So is it just this?
It's no, I do other stuff as far as I run some Facebook ad campaigns.
Okay.
I work with this team called the North Georgia Group that's in the Cumming office, and they had sent me some buyer referrals as well, and they were short on buyer's agents and had sent me some referrals, and then I just paid them a referral on stuff that I'm able to close. So the majority of my business does come through my sphere of influence and referrals, and this has been my strategy for that, alongside like a 33 touch. And then I'm also planning at the end of the summer to do a reverse bold 100. Are you familiar with that?
No, not yet. I actually just started it, so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the concept behind it is you get basically a prize, like a really like high value prize, like a Peloton, or I don't know, something that's super nice. I've seen people do like MacBook Airs or Apple Watches, or they'll do like a combination of like a couple of different things. And then you run a campaign to your sphere that they have to like call in to get entered in, and it's like a raffle. But when they call in, you get information from them, like make sure that you have all of their name, phone number, address, email. So it's really a way to kind of flesh out your database. And then you give them it's like an extra ticket into the raffle if they refer you a piece of business, or can put you in contact with someone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest. And then you raffle it off, and you kind of market it. And so that's what I'm planning for the next one. So between the client events and the reverse bold 100, I mean, just based on the numbers, that could be really all I need to do,
Yeah.
if it keeps going as well as it has.
So Adam, when you're at your events and you're talking to your sphere of influence, how does it go from, hey, how are the kids, to, getting a referral piece of business?
Sure, it's a good question. So, I really just talk to the people that come, thank them for coming, just organically have conversations. And real estate, I never bring it up. I ask them how their house is, because they bought a house from me, or how things are going, how their family is. But I never directly ask them for a referral. It's just been, they bring it up to me. They're like, how's the market? How's business? Oh, it's good, busy, not too busy, to help someone else though. We're just, just kind of keep it light and make it fun. And it's really about just, for me, just being genuine and throwing something for them, just because I do appreciate, them supporting my business it allows us to do these types of events, and keeps, being able to pay my bills and do all that other stuff that I want to do, and not have to go get a real job. So, I kind of use it's called FORD, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Like, if you can't think of something to talk to them about, because some people, it's just like human nature. You're going to grow closer to some clients than others. Some of it's just a little more business, and sometimes you develop a personal relationship with people. But kind of think back on that when I can't think of anything to say, and make sure to talk to everyone for a little bit and kind of make your rounds. That was one thing, because there's like one of me and 24 of them. Is like, how long do I spend with each person? I don't want anyone to feel neglected or left out, or that I'm not giving them enough attention. And I really kind of tried to focus on what Carrie was saying earlier. People that didn't know other people at the party were the people that I was prioritizing spending time with. So I didn't want them to sit there and be like, not have fun and want to go home. I wanted them to have a good time. So that was kind of my strategy of like working the room. But
At these events, when you're kind of mingling amongst, you obviously have a rapport, and you're talking about occupation. Do you ever cross market or cross leverage past clients, or is it kind of just on the sole individual with yourself?
if I can, like if someone pops up and he's like, hey, like I'm, about to do my taxes, like I really need a good CPA. And then I have another client that's a CPA. I'm like, you guys should meet. I do attempt to do that when I can. For sure. Yeah, because it's all about networking, and I want everyone to, if they're sending me referrals, I certainly want to send them referrals. So I definitely try to do that when I can, if I can connect people, especially through my network. I always try to do that.
So Adam, you mentioned the bold, reverse
Mhm.
bold. What else do you have planned for, your clients this year? And
Mhm.
when are you gonna start planning events out for next year?
Good question. So I need to do it soon. So for fall, I was planning to do a fall festival. And
Our
now,
KW one?
well, I didn't know that, I wasn't aware that we were doing that until a couple weeks ago. So I'm just gonna piggyback off the KW one instead of
Good choice. It's
reinventing.
awesome. It's
Yeah,
great.
and I feel like that's awesome and would keep the cost a lot lower for
Way
this
low.
one.
Yep.
And then I can invest or allocate more to like the reverse bold 100 prize
Mhm.
if I'm not having to do that and an event in the fall. So I'm kind of starting now to get like my guest list together and get the details on the fall festival so I can get the invites out pretty soon. I've been trying to do like 4 weeks minimum. People notice 6 weeks would be like optimum to give people enough time. I don't really want to do it too much further out than that because then people are gonna forget. Yeah. But that, and then I'm planning on doing a Christmas. So like one event a quarter. We did first quarter axe throwing, second quarter was Gate City, third quarter fall festival, fourth quarter Christmas party, like pictures with Santa. The first 2 events were more like adult, because axe throwing and then drinking beer were more like adult centric. So the fall festival and the Christmas one, I want to make geared more towards family friendly, people with kids. So maybe like pictures with Santa, something like that, family photos, get a photographer. I'm still building out the logistics in the venue and stuff like that for the 4th one. And then, this year, just since it was a new thing, I feel like I was flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. Like I don't even have the rest of the year like I have it loosely planned out, but not specifics. So for next year, I mean, really by November, December, I'd like to have all of next year planned out. Like events, I already have the guest list, which helps, and then really trying to figure out who else is gonna help me pay for these. Because the attorney was great, my lender was great. I don't want to ask them every time though. I have an inspector that I use pretty exclusively that I wouldn't feel uncomfortable asking him to kick in. And yeah, just trying to think of other partners that I could, I send 210, a lot of home warranties, but I don't know. So just trying to figure out that and how to optimize it. I was thinking, one thing that we were thinking about doing for this one that we didn't end up doing, I kind of wish I had. Ever since I've been trying to shift my reviews from like off of Zillow and onto Google, and I have like a ton on Zillow and I have like 3 on Google. And so I was planning on doing like getting an Apple Watch or something to raffle, and then having like a QR code at the venue and like scan the QR code and leave me a review and you could win this Apple Watch. And I kind of ran out of, I really, really wish I would have done that. But I know, so for the next, I mean, once I figured out how much it was gonna cost and stuff like that, I was like, ooh, like 1,300, the last time I kept under 1,000, I'd like to keep these under 1,000. But then I look at I know, and I'm just like, come on, man. Don't step over dollars to get the dimes. So you definitely have to invest, and that would have been really cool. So that was one thing I regret not doing, but plan to do that in the future because it's a good way to get your reviews up. And yeah, everyone wants an Apple Watch or just an item of value. I feel like that's a pretty easy ask. And just because I'm really bad at asking for reviews initially. Because like you're at the closing table, like they're like looking at the Alta, they see this like big check that you're getting, and it's like, can you also leave me a review? Like, come on, man. But no, I mean, people are happy to do it. It's just I don't know why.
You have to remind them a ton, and that makes it hard.
They forget. Yeah.
They do, and then you feel bad reminding them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it's just too late.
It is. Like, how many more times can I harass you? What can I offer you that'll make you
Yeah.
like do this, please?
Mhm. But that's, yeah, that's a plan for the next one, and then really just trying to think of different, fun ideas, fun venues, something different. These last two, so one was in Sandy Springs and one was in Roswell. A lot of, if you look at my clothes trends, I'm like all over the metro, right? I'm like Decatur, Fayetteville, Dawsonville, just up and down the freeway. So I was trying to pick a place that was somewhat central. Sandy Springs is somewhat central. Majority of my clients live in North Atlanta, so Roswell is fairly central too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Do y'all have any ideas of things that you would want to do? Or any questions or any other vendors that you would kind of leverage to help you?
Like who you said, I'm always looking for ideas, and I would love to do like a big office, like client mastermind and events and stuff. I was supposed to do it last year. It was supposed to be it was literally like the week that everything shut down for COVID, and I didn't get to do it. So I'm going to do it again now. I will tell you all. Because I was trying to think too, I'm like, what's something I can invite people to that'd be fun? Atlanta United. They've got a great, who doesn't love Atlanta? Everyone loves them.
Right.
It could be people without kids, people with kids, like either way. So we're going next month, and they actually, I will tell you, because I just saw something come through, it's August 15th. And they have a whole pre-game hospitality package. You can buy that. They get there early, they get their food, drinks, all that stuff covered. We got
Nice.
great seats, we're all together. But I did just see something come out too, where they're giving discounts, I think, for that game for like Fulton County, and even Fulton County school related, something like that, so.
Nice.
Very nice.
That'll be good.
Hopefully, but I decided for this one, I chose a specific group of my clients who it started with one, here for the other, here, so I'm taking all of them and their guests, so it'll all just be them, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to do it again, I think in October, with a different client referral group and see how that goes.
Nice. How many people are coming into this one?
So it's small. We're only gonna do 10. So we're not gonna do a huge amount, but probably for the one, I think I'm looking at another game in October. So that'll probably be a larger group. I have to see if they're gonna invite, these people don't have kids,
Right.
but I'll see if they're gonna invite their kids or not, I don't know.
Nice. That was something my coach and I talked about, is like micro events. Like, what if you got together groups of
That's-
people, and just did like a smaller thing, like a Braves game or this and that, something that's ticketed and like a little bit more exclusive, but also really fun.
I just started pricing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to the Braves game the other day, I was thinking, this would be good for like that core group of clients who, yeah.
And it's not that bad, it's usually only like maybe an extra, say if it's $40 a ticket, $60 a person, but they get like a little souvenir, they get to sit in. I did it a lot in California, I haven't done anything here, but Top Golf was always a hit, and
That's
they
good.
just opened one in
Yeah.
Swanee.
Wait, what
Top Golf did,
open in Swanee?
yeah, or I'm
Or
sorry,
Buford,
sorry.
yes, okay, that's it.
I mean, you got Top
I
Golf.
like that.
They got the go-karts right there too, right next to Top Golf. We did a bonfire with a cruise, but obviously that was Southern California, so it was a beach. But I don't know what like Lake Lanier would be like, but
Yeah.
but it was just, a lot of the things are just really, I don't know, when we did a lot of the sporting events, we didn't do more than 25. Just because, like you said, you get that core, and once you get that far out, it's hard to mingle, and it feels
Yeah.
very disconnected, because you're just in a big row now. But when you have a nice, good group, well, if we did get all 30, we just split it up, we did 15, or 10 and 14, or 12 and 12.
Right.
And that way we can always just turn around and everybody's kind of like that. But again, like you said, the logistics, it's like a wedding, who you sit next to who. And
Yeah, right now, that's true.
For sure. And I feel like, I don't know, if you get it too big with one of those sporting events that's per ticket, you can get pissed if someone doesn't come to RSVP too. It's come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
that's
two
why
ways.
you've got to hold all the tickets and give it, you don't send them to anybody in the house, you hold all of them.
That's
Yes.
true, that's a good point. And what about like I have a lot of attorneys that I use, a lot of lenders that I use, I don't have like one specific one that I use like all the time, so when I go to somebody to try to leverage, I mean, do you think they're gonna be receptive to helping? I mean, how would you?
I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's to ask them.
Yeah.
And it can be, I mean, it can be kind of awkward or uncomfortable to ask someone for money.
I
But
know,
if you're sending them, even if it's just a couple a year, like
right,
you're making them money that they wouldn't normally have. And
okay,
if you frame it in a way of like, listen, like I'm planning an event for my past clients and trying to, you know, grow the network and do a client appreciation event.
sure,
You know, do you think that you help sponsor it? Like you could come to the event, you could hand out marketing collateral, like it can be something to help you as well. And I just wanted to give you the opportunity to be a part of it.
okay.
Whereas like, hey, I'm doing this thing, like, can I have some money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all about the way that you kind of frame it with whoever it is. Cause like the attorney, like she brought like a bunch of swag and like pins and
Sure,
so it's, you know, they can write that kind of stuff off.
that's true,
They have budgets, like marketing budgets for that. You just have to be careful because a lot of times they have to pay the vendor, like they had to pay, or they did the food, the attorney did, but like with my lender, like he had to pay Gate City direct, like he can't pay you. It's just like some sort of law against that.
sure,
So you just gotta be careful about the way that you do it, but I mean, my lender, like I've sent him like 20 loans in the past, you know, 15 or 20 loans in the past year, so I didn't really feel uncomfortable asking. He was like, dude, of course, like whatever you need, just tell me how much you need. And, you know, I'm happy to help. And he came to the event, he wore his Bank South shirt, and he went around and like met people. And he met some of the clients that he'd helped close loans for that he had never gotten to meet because it was COVID. And, you know, the lender doesn't always meet the client. So
all right,
it was good. People are happy to help, you just gotta ask.
I'm not good at that either, so I've never asked anyone yet. I intend to, but I haven't done it either.
I just feel like I have like 10 different lenders that I use and I use them all for different reasons, so it's like, I wouldn't even know who to ask, because I'm like, I've only used you once, I've only used you twice, and so.
I mean, that's the way that I feel about it is if there's people that I'm helping them grow their business and then there's an opportunity for them to help me
Sure.
grow mine and they don't want to, then that makes me kind of reconsider whether or
Right,
not.
like I may not use you now.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
and we have an opportunity to send a lot of different types of vendors referrals, and they don't always have an opportunity to send them back to us. So this is a way that they can kind of scratch our back too, is by helping us sponsor these types of things. It's my 2 cents on it. So
that makes
I
sense.
would, and it could also, if you're working with a couple of different people, it could give them, they could feel like it could be an opportunity for them to work with you more exclusively if they're, if they're supporting you in that capacity. So. Anybody on Zoom have anything? All right. Y'all have anything else or any other ideas, thoughts,
Feels really
concerns?
good.
Just love to, figure out how to do this. I will tell you, because I am on the committee for Fall Festival, so it is gonna be a great event this year. We've got a brand new venue we're having it at. It's gonna be at Riverside Park.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive it's probably gonna be Sunday,
Mhm.
October 24th. We decided it's Sunday versus Saturday because people have a lot on Saturdays. Sunday's a
Yeah.
little bit better. Pretty sure it's gonna be 12 to 3.
Okay.
I mean, we'll make the official announcement next week. I just had messaged the guy, he's pulling it all together so we can sign off on everything, but if you've ever been there, it's a beautiful venue. It's right on the river. There's lots of parking. We're gonna have food there, barbecue, hamburgers, hot dogs, all different kinds of food. There's gonna be music and bounce houses and games and magician and face painter and balloon artist and pumpkin patch
So
and
a
just
real
all
festival.
different, all
Yeah.
different
Nice.
kinds of things. It's definitely gonna be something, as Adam said, like, what the agents are gonna have to pay is so minimal compared to what you're gonna get out of it. And the beauty of it is going to be, is that when you're there and other people are there, all your guests and everyone you bring, they think everyone there is for you. They have no idea.
Right,
There's
right,
no
right.
other reason. They like, oh, really? They're like, wow, they're like, you got so many people, look at you, you're killing it, like, they don't know any better.
It's so
Right.
funny you said it. That was like literally my leveraging point where I just started, so like I have like 4 invites that are gonna go out. But when they come, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm just inviting all my clients, just come on through, and, or not even clients, my just.
Oh, any
leads.
person you know,
Right,
and your
And it's like-
neighbor,
And
you
then
know,
be like,
yeah.
whoa, put it all together, like, yeah, this is what we do for our clients, and it's kind of just that marketing tool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they love it too, and we also have like professional photographers and everything there, so normally when my people came through, they would get a nice family pic, and then I, go to one of those sites and blow it up for them and give it to them for a holiday gift, and to still have it there in their house, 2 of them just moved recently, they were like, oh, look, here's the picture, you gave me, it's right there, it's hanging up, and so those like little things, that's nice,
And so we pay per person that we invite? Is that-
so there'll be an amount, so basically
Okay.
you'll pay, and the amounts are minimal, so
Right.
this is nothing I'm gonna tell you too, is that we are significantly upping this year, what our vendors pay, so their agents don't have to pay more money.
Okay.
Vendors have been over a year since we've asked for anything, we're like, don't need to pay more money.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
So the agents don't have to, that's the whole point, so I wanna say, I don't know the exact amounts, we'll have to figure that out, but I wanna say it's like, for newer agents just starting, it's like $50-$75 or something like that, for, agents, I think it depends on how many people you invite. So if you have 50 people or something, I think it's maybe $150 or something, like, it's
That's
barely
minimal.
minimal,
That's very.
it's super minimal,
That's awesome.
so
And
it'll
so
be a great event.
how will the photography work? Like if there's a family that I invited and they get the picture taken, they like the photography, does it go to the client or will
It comes to us. We get the link with, everyone's photo is on there, so you gotta go through and parcel it, find your people and send it to them. But you can send it to them, you can make it into something for them and all that, or it's easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
That'll be
yeah,
fun.
we'll save some money on this
Right.
one.
No kidding. Yeah.
For sure. And then another thing I did was, well, with these past 2 was taking pictures and putting it on social media and thanking everyone for coming. And then, it's gotten like some organic reach with like other people that are not my clients, but my friends on Facebook. It's a good look. It's like, wow, you like rented out this space and invited all your clients, like, I wanna buy a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
because
I wanna
wanna be
do
part
that,
of
like, I wanna be
yeah.
part of that club,
Yeah.
so,
That's a good
it's
point.
just like all good stuff, and I feel like, it's the upfront cost, it kind of sounds like a lot, but when you look at the ROI, it's not that bad.
That's really good.
Cool, well, I know we said 3 o'clock, which was aggressive. I can't stand up here and talk that long. But if no one else on Zoom has anything, and no one in person has anything, we'll go ahead and call it.
We're gonna call it.
Oh, who's camera?
I know. It's kind
This
of.
has
I
been
see you,
super helpful,
Adam.
Adam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote down that Top Golf. I didn't even think about Top Golf, and you're right, they just opened that up over there. It's great.
It's one of those things where